Well, hello. Welcome to the Carty Method podcast. Welcome back to another episode. I'm going to help you today shift your mindset so you can improve your skill sets, add to your tool set, so you can truly increase your assets. Today, we're going to break down the 9 crucial habits that can change not just your photography career, but actually also your life. They're not just abstract ideas. These are practical, actionable, that's pretty hard to say next to each other, practical, actionable habits that I've integrated into my own life, and I'm super excited to share them with you today. So we're going to get into it. And again, I didn't make slates today because I think it's important to really just get right into the information. By the way, if you've never seen me before, I'm Carty. I am a professional photographer. I'm obsessed really on one thing, being an ultra successful professional photographer. And the second thing is helping you also be an ultra successful professional photographer. If you're into that, then my content is for you. If you're listening on Apple Music or Spotify, please hit the like button. Please review, rate me, subscribe, because I'm new on this platform, and believe me, when you're a new creator, you need all the helps you can get, trust me. So, number one, and really the first thing that you can do in order to really accelerate your life so you win, literally, this is the first thing that you can do. And again, these are not abstract ideas. These are very practical and they're actionable, and you're going to be able to do it right now. Yeah, I think we're going to rate with the iPad today because I think it's super helpful when I make notes for y'all. So let's make some notes. The first thing that you need to stop doing is comparison. Stop comparing. Stop comparing yourself to anyone else. Anyone else. No one else has your experience, and you do not have anyone else's experience. So just the whole concept of comparing yourself to anybody else is pretty futile. So don't even try it. It doesn't get you really anywhere. That's the first thing, is stop comparing yourself. Honest comparison, it's like a silent killer. It's a silent killer of creativity. And I promise you, comparison is a thief, the only thief of joy. I mean, not the only one, but oh my God, comparison's a huge thief of joy. As photographers, it's super easy to fall into the trap of looking at other photographers' work and then feeling inadequate. Social media doesn't help, by the way. It's a highlight reel where everybody seems to be doing better than you are. And I've been there, believe me, scrolling through Instagram, looking at someone else's amazing portfolio and wondering, will my work ever get that kind of profile? But here's the truth. Comparison's toxic. It can rush your goals. It can make you feel dissatisfied with your own life, and it can breed a deep sense of inadequacy. So, how do you combat this comparison thing that we all have a tendency to do? The first step is awareness. Whether you catch yourself comparing or whenever you find yourself comparing yourself, pause and remind yourself that your journey is unique. No two photographers have the same path, and that's what makes this profession actually beautiful. I've learned to focus on gratitude instead. Literally, I'm so grateful that I have talent. I'm so grateful that I have eyes. I'm so grateful that I have ideas and imagination and the ability to communicate the way that I do. It's all learned behavior. Every day, I take a moment to appreciate my own progress, my unique vision, and the opportunities that I've had. That mindset shift has been so powerful Gratitude isn't just an attitude, it's a practice. It's something that you have to have the ability to cultivate daily. And we all can be thankful. Instead of thinking about the things that you don't have, is be so thankful for the things that you do. Got to wake up today, you've got an advantage over all the people who died last night. You have legs to walk, arms to grab things, eyes to see. One thing I do, I write down everything. I keep a journal where I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, and I do it every day. It's simple. It's a very simple practice, and it grounds me and helps me start the day with a positive mindset. It reminds me that my journey is mine and that I have my own pace, my own goals, and my own successes. I encourage you to do the same, Every morning, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Remember, your work has value, and so does your journey. So celebrate your wins, no matter how small they might seem. It's big, but you have to stop comparing. Stop comparing yourself, and that's the first thing that is going to help you. It's going to change your life, and it's going to change your life if you stop doing that actually today, like literally today. This is number 2. Number 2 is your comfort zone. Your comfort zone ... is where, if you're listening on YouTube, if you're listening on YouTube Music, Apple Music, Spotify, it's because I'm writing. It's hard to write and talk. Your comfort zone is where your dreams goes to die. This is literally, your comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. Comfort is seductive. Comfort it's kind of nice. It's safe, but it's also absolutely where your dreams go to die. If I had stayed in my comfort zone, I'd be a completely different person. Early in my career, I realized that real growth happens outside of comfort. Real growth, it happens over there. It's the projects that challenge you, the shoots that give you those butterflies, the shoots that make you so nervous, that push you to heights you've never thought possible. One of the most valuable lessons that I've learned is that learning is optimized when you're getting things right about 85% of the time. That means you're succeeding enough to stay motivated, but you're failing enough to learn. When I apply this theory, this 85% theory to my photography, I'm always looking for that sweet spot where I'm pushing myself beyond my comfort zone, but not so far that I'm setting myself up to fail. Here's an example. I might take on a project in a genre that I'm not exactly comfortable with, like street photography. I'll experiment with new techniques or new gear, like this new, you see that box under there that I haven't even opened yet? That box under my desk is a new studio light. I shouldn't even have revealed it. It's a new studio light that is going to just change my photography. And again, this is now my 4th head. I have 4 heads. 2 are a pair. 1 is a main front, and this is now a second main front. But it's got a very special power. And I'll get into that when I do the unboxing. So I experiment at 54 years old with new techniques and with new gear. Every time I do this, I not only grow as a photographer, but as a creative professional. Yes, it's uncomfortable. And I just bought 2 brand new Zoom recorders that both have 32-bit float. And I've been watching videos learning about 32-bit float and how to connect it to my system, but I haven't done it yet because I need some time because, change is uncomfortable. I'm getting out of my comfort zone by setting up this new stuff, but oh my goodness, I'll do it later on tonight. But I know that although new stuff is uncomfortable, that is where all my growth has happened since I learned how to talk and walk. So I challenge you to find something that pushes you outside your comfort zone and dive in. It doesn't have to be a huge leap. These things should be small steps. Small steps outside your comfort zone can lead to massive, massive changes over time. So remember, I hope this iPad doesn't die before the end of this presentation. Your comfort zone, I will say again, is where your dreams, it's where your dreams go to die. So make sure that you don't spend any time there. Get uncomfortable. That's when life gets really good, is when you start getting uncomfortable. Okay, so the only way, this is number 3, the only way to guarantee failure is to quit. It's the only guaranteed way to fail. So we've all been there. The moment when things get so hard that you consider throwing in the towel, you consider quitting. But here's the thing. It's the only way to guarantee failure is to quit. I've been doing photography since I was 14. I started when my dad brought home a camera and didn't even know how to turn it on. And believe me, there was plenty of times from age 14 and 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 and 20. There was plenty of times when I felt like throwing in the towel even early, when I was learning how to develop, when I was 14 years old and print a photograph. There's so many times, but photography was magic to me. So when I felt like throwing in the towel, I didn't. I realized that persistence has made all the difference in my life because I stick to stuff. I stuck to it. I stuck to photography, and look at the life that I've created for myself. One of the most important lessons that I've learned is simply staying in the game. Simply staying in the game gives you an edge. So many people are quitters, eh? So many people quit too soon, just before they're actually about to break through. And I remind myself of this whenever I hit a bit of a rough patch, because I just started the Carty method. I started this 8 months ago. So persistence isn't just about keeping going. It's about staying committed to your goals even when the going gets tough. So here's a little trick that I use to keep myself accountable. It's the $100 rule. Whenever I feel like quitting, and I've done this so many times, and something like my podcast, I did this with my podcast. If I quit, it's called, I give a trusted friend, like Joey, which is the guy I did this one with. I give a trusted friend $100. If I quit, they get to keep the money. It's a small thing, but it adds a layer of accountability. So you might not want to use money, but find something that'll keep you motivated when you start feeling like you're losing it. Start feeling like, I'm done with photography. This is bullshit. I can't stay with this. Maybe it's a reward system. Maybe it's a public commitment. You have to stake your claim. If you're not telling everybody that you're a photographer, stop saying yeah, I do it part-time, or yeah, I'm trying to be, or just say that this is what you are. You're at the beginning part of your journey. Whatever that thing is, and I'm hoping you're watching me because you're trying to be a professional photographer, or you're a struggling photographer, your business is underperforming. I hope that that's the reason that you're watching me or listening to me. Whatever it is, make sure what that thing is that you're trying to do is something that keeps you motivated and something that keeps you in the game. Reward yourself. Reward yourself. For me, I buy sunglasses and Nikes. I literally, as you can see, my little showcase of Nikes that I have Jordans that I bought myself as a present. I haven't even put them on my feet yet. So, reward system. This microphone. I bought this microphone when I monetized my channel. This is Joe Rogan's microphone. This is the Shure SM7B. This microphone goes all the way back to 1972. It used to be silver, but Bob Marley, the Black Pumas, so many like incredible musicians have, and I don't know the whole list, but those are two that I know for sure, recorded audio with this microphone. And my sign, that's a reward that I got myself when I got 1,000 subscribers. So, quitting, it's really the only way that you are going to for sure fail. 100%. For sure. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So, you need to figure out a way to like get your head in the game and stop messing around. Seriously. Okay. Number 4 is this is where you're getting got. Guaranteed. Everybody's getting got right here. This is crazy. This is crazy. Watch this. This is where you're getting got. DISTRACTION. I gotta move this over. Distraction. Distraction is what is getting everybody. It's what gets us all. And there's so many professional distractions out there. So many professional distractions. Watch this. Watch this. We're gonna erase the DIS, which is dis, like to stop, right? And we're gonna, when we take the DIS out, we're left with traction. Ho, ho, ho. Take the distraction, take the dis out, and we're left with traction. Ooh. But you can't get any kind of traction without action. So you need to start cutting stuff out, actually. Yeah or yeah. Yes or yes. As you heard me say so often, yes or yes. High quality content. You need to start cutting some stuff out because distraction is like it's going to be the end of you. Literally. Are you distracting yourself from real life? Like, are you distracting yourself from real life? In our modern world, distractions are everywhere. Everywhere. Social media, TV, endless content consumption. Endless content consumption. Seriously. But those distractions, they pull you away from real life. And more importantly, they pull you away from your creative work. I used to be constantly plugged in, listening to something, watching something, consuming content all the time. But guess what? The content that I was inputting was not content that was outputting a result. I was not watching educational content. I was watching strangers play Call of Duty. Like watching other people play video games while I wasn't playing video games on my own self. I realized like that constant negative input, that constant distraction input was drowning out my own thoughts and my own ideas. So So to combat that, I schedule two 15-minute blocks each day where I do nothing. No phone, no computer, no music, just me and my thoughts. During that time, I just breathe and I visualize. We're visual people. I just see my future and I map out things in my head. I map out shoots. I map out ideas. And this is why that box is under my desk right now, because it came from one of those visualization sessions. I said, oh no, if I get this is going to change everything. So I visualized my goals, especially related to my photography and the Carty method. Those moments of silence have become so crucial for my creativity and for my mindset. They allow my mind to wander, to explore ideas, and to come up with new concepts for my work. And it's so electrifying. It's so, I can't even explain it, man. It's electrifying. After those sessions, immediately I go to my iPad and I write down any of the ideas that came to mind. That practice has been an absolute game changer for me. It's amazing how much more focused and creative I've become simply by cutting out distractions and giving myself time to think. I encourage you, please just try it. Start with just 5 minutes a day. If 15 minutes feels too long, you might feel surprised, believe me, how much clarity and inspiration come from a little science and a little silence. So speaking of clarity, I'm going to just talk about clarity. Let's say CLARITY. Clarity. Let me show you something funny or something creative that my brother and I put together when we were small. That's in teenagers. CARTY. Steve Carty. That is me. Add one L for love and one I for insight, and you have clarity. So that's all I'm here for, is to bring you clarity. And if you do these 9 things that I'm talking about today, you're going to have the kind of clarity so you can actually propel your career and your life forward. Seriously, please do it. Clarity is what we all seek, and I try to help you find it here a few times a week. All right, you ready for more? By the way, if you're still watching, thank you. I appreciate you. If you're still listening, I appreciate you. Please consider subscribing. If you like my radio voice and the way that I deliver this information, comments, likes, sharing my content, making clips. If you're watching, if you're watching live, you can use the clip command to make clips for me so I can share them to my social networks. All of this stuff helps. Okay, so let's get into number 5. Number 5 is this: your phone. Your phone. I'll say it again. Your phone. Phone addiction's real, eh? Phone addiction is real. And our phones are incredible tools, but they can also be our own worst enemy when it comes to focus and when it comes to when it comes to productivity. At times I'm glued to my phone. There's times that you have to be. There's times that we're all glued to our phone, scrolling, checking emails, responding to all the notifications and continually. But I noticed it was affecting my sleep, my focus, and ultimately my addiction and my time on my phone was ultimately killing my creativity. So I made a conscious decision to change some habits. Now I put my phone on DND always, pretty much. It's always on DND like an hour before I go to bed or an hour after I wake up. I actually never have my phone set to make a noise. It vibrates. And also, I have an Apple Watch. And the Apple Watch is a great way for you to like ease off of your phone addiction, because the notifications that you get that you have to pick up your phone to see, then you have your phone in your hand and you just end up doing all this other stuff. So having a watch that I can just look down and see a notification from my community or wherever it's coming from, I know that it's stuff that I don't have to act on, so I can continue to work and not have to pick up my phone. So simple habits of putting my phone on DND an hour before bed and keeping it off an hour after I wake up. I have this on auto schedule. That simple habit has had a profound impact on my life. I sleep better. I start my day with a clear mind, and I'm more present throughout the whole day. Here's another thing that I do, this makes me so happy. I say no words. I say no words. I literally, you see how often I talk and how well I communicate, but for the first part of the day, I don't talk. My partner, my girlfriend, so weird being 54 and talking about my girlfriend, but my girlfriend, she works. Sometimes she's working here, sometimes she's working out, but when she works at the office, I get to say no words and I can just do deep work. And I'm not saying and usually the first words that I say are like my first coaching call during the day. So one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is this. Each time you feel the urge to reach for your phone, pick up your camera instead. Seriously. Every time you feel like reaching for your phone, pick up your camera instead. How well do you actually know your camera? Get to know it inside and out. Practice changing settings without actually even looking. Or try shooting with a different lens in a different lighting condition. The time that you spend learning with your gear will help you become a better photographer and keep you away from the distractions of your phone. I started photography when there was no phones. There was no internet. So there was no distractions. I could just 100% dive into that thing that I loved more than anything, which was making photographs. So that's your phone. Phone addiction is real. I can't say throw it out the nearest window because that would be silly, but you can ease way back, eh? You can ease way back. So number six is this, and I've made a video on this recently. Waiting for the perfect conditions. The perfect conditions to start. Waiting for the perfect conditions to start. We all fall into that. One of the biggest traps I've seen photographers fall into is waiting for just the right conditions. Seriously, waiting for the perfect conditions before starting. Whether it's waiting for the right gear, the right opportunity, the perfect light, the truth is that there will never be a perfect time. Actually, never. There'll never be a perfect time. I've seen so many talented photographers who are less skilled than you, living the life that you want just because they took action. They're less skilled than you, but yet they're living your life. They're making your money, and they might be even driving your car just because they took action. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I, at times in my life, have waited until I felt 100% ready before I started something new. But I've learned you only need about 70% of the information or 70% of the readiness to actually start. You'll figure the rest out, I promise you, as you go. And the fact is, there's some things that you can't even figure out until you start. Literally, try to learn how to do an ollie on a skateboard without having a skateboard feet and like the pain of trying it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times and not getting the board off the ground. You figure it out as you go. The key is to take action, even if it's imperfect. That's where real progress happens with our creativity. So stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Start with what you have, where you are, and you'd be absolutely amazed at how much you can accomplish, I promise you. The most successful photographers are the ones who take action, who aren't afraid of making mistakes, who learn from every experience. Don't let that whole vibe of like perfectionism hold you back. Today's the only day that we get, so you have to make it count. This is really important too. Number seven is really important. And this is such a myth. And you hear this all the time. I bet you've heard this 3 times today. Multitasking. Multitasking, FYI, multitasking is a myth. It's a myth. You have to commit to true full focus because multitasking is a myth. I can't even say it because it's a myth. It's not even a real word. I used to think I could juggle multiple tasks and still do them all well. But I realized super quickly that half focusing on several things leads to half-assed results, whether it's writing, reading, or even watching a movie. How many people do you see? They're watching TV, they're on their phone, and they have their computer open. Like, seriously, whether it's writing, reading, or even watching a movie, splitting your focus means you're actually not fully engaged in anything. What are you doing? Photography demands full focus. When I'm on a shoot, I'm not thinking about anything else except for that moment and that experience. Anybody who's ever met me knows that I am a fully present, fully engaged person in my life. That level of focus allows me to create meaningful, impactful images. So if you're struggling to shoot as much as you're like, think about this. If you're struggling to shoot as much as you'd like, ask yourself if you're truly focusing when you actually do shoot. Are you truly focusing when you do have the opportunity to shoot photos? Are you? Are you giving your full attention to the task at hand? Or are you kind of distracted by other things? You notice what David said when he was talking, when I had one of my assistants, David, on the podcast, and he said, like, you're so focused. You don't think about anything. You're so engaged. And I'm like, aren't everybody like that? He's like, no. One thing that's helped me is setting clear intentions before every single shoot. I decide what I want to achieve and I commit to fully being present during every session. Not only does that improve the quality of my work, but it also makes the process of photography for me more enjoyable. So the next time you're out shooting, commit to full focus. Put away your phone, clear your mind, and immensely immerse yourself in the moment. Multitasking. Absolute farce. There's not even such a thing. So stop saying that word and stop pretending you're doing it. This is the next thing. Pro. You guys all want to be pros, right? But sadly, too many are pros at procrastination. Too many are pros at procrastination. Literally, procrastination. That's like, I know what I'm pro. I'm a procrastinator. We've all done it. We've all been that one. Seriously, but you're trying to be a pro? How's procrastination going to work for you? How old are you? Are you 18? 18? Got your whole life ahead of you? Or are you 37? Are you 54? Are you older? And you're still procrastinating? Seriously, you watching TV? Movies? Wow. Procrastination. Seriously, procrastination is something that, yes, we all struggle with. It's easy to put things off, especially when they seem daunting. But here's the thing. Time flies. Time flies. I look back and realize 10 years have passed in the blink of an eye. I was 24 years old yesterday. Look how I dress. I still think that I'm 24 and I'm 54 years old. Time has passed in the blink of an eye. No one tells you that you've missed the starting gun. No one tells you that you missed the starting gun. And before you know it, you're standing there and all your opportunities have slipped you by. The hardest part of any task is getting started, which is why the 5-minute rule is so genius. When I'm procrastinating on something and I've completely changed my life by doing things, it's like it's completely George Costanza day for me. It's opposite. The things that I would usually not do, now I do. The things that I wouldn't do before, now I do them for sure. The things that I was doing before, I don't do them now. You know, except for the things that are working. Seriously, it's George Costanza. George Costanza in Seinfeld did this, and then he's working for the Yankees. The Yankees! I'm working for the Yankees, George! I mean, Jerry. He got the most beautiful girl because he's like, I see that beautiful girl in the cafe. I would never go talk to her. I'm going to go talk to her. He went and talked to her. Turns out she loves bald guys. Next thing you know, he's dating the most beautiful girl and he's working for the New York Yankees because he played it was opposite day. When I'm procrastinating on something, whether it's editing a huge batch of photos or starting something new, I tell myself, I'm going to work on this for like 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. More often than not, once you start, you keep going. It's literally, you're tricking yourself. I'm going to do this for 5 minutes. If I hate it, I'll stop. I'm going to do it for 5 minutes. If I hate it, I'll stop. As soon as you start and you're in it, time, you look back and it's like 3 hours have gone by. And that thing that you were procrastinating on, it's done. Done. So it's a simple trick, but it is incredibly effective. So the next time you're putting something off, try the 5-minute rule. Set a timer on your phone. Have a 5-minute timer on lock on your phone all the time. And try the 5-minute rule. Once you set the timer and then start. 5 minute. And you look and you're like, okay, I don't have to do this for 3 more minutes. Keep going, and then stop looking, and then just do the work and stop looking at the timer. You'd be surprised at how quickly you can overcome that initial resistance to anything that you're avoiding. Anything that you're avoiding, your taxes, your books, cleaning up your freaking office, literally anything that you're avoiding. And like, what your workspace looks like is what the inside of your brain looks like, FYI. Is it organized and like clean lines and everything has a place, or is it an absolute shit show? It's just a reflection as to what's going on inside your head. So, funny enough, organize your workspace and you'll be able to organize your thoughts better. So, remember, by the way, progress is made in small steps. Small steps. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you're moving forward. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you are moving forward. You are moving the needle. So act. And the last point from today is this, and this number 9. Number 9, we've all done this, but you stop doing these things, your life is going to change. It just will. There's no actual way that your life won't change if you do these 9 things. And this is the last one. It's a biggie. It's called complaining. 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 You need to shift your mindset. Seriously. Complaining seems harmless, but it is a habit that can have a profound impact on your mindset and your creativity. I used to complain a lot. I used to complain about a lot of stuff, about photo shoots, about clients, about conditions, because things just, I like things to be perfect. I used to complain about missed opportunities, but I realized every time I complained, I was training my brain to focus on the lack, focus on what didn't happen, focus on things that I couldn't control, focus on the negative. I was training my brain how to focus on the negative, and negativity kills creativity. I'm going to write that down because that needs to be a bar. Negativity kills creativity. So, which one do you want to be? Which one do you want to be? Because if negativity kills creativity, guess what? That means creativity kills negativity. I'm dropping bars for you right now. Negativity kills creativity, but creativity also kills negativity. So I make a little rule. If I find myself complaining about anything, and I don't have a solution, I actually have to do something that I don't want to do. Seriously. Oh, go clean the bathroom. It's like, what? It's like, I'm complaining about not having 20,000 followers or 20,000 subscribers on on YouTube yet. It's like, I find myself complaining about something that not only do I don't have a solution for, but I can only control it with my content, but I can't make you subscribe. So, you know what I mean? But it's like, if I find myself complaining and I don't have a solution or I can't control the solution, I have to do something ugly. I have to do something I don't want to do. Like, so I'll go, clean the shitter or mop the floor, do something that is like, yeah, this is literally punishment to myself for complaining about something I have no control over, like a freaking idiot. Trust me, game changer. It's a total game changer. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, I focus on what I can do to improve the situation. So if you look at your office and you're like, whew, this is a mess. It's like, look in the mirror, buddy. Roll your sleeves up, get out the Windex, get a box or 2 or 5 and start throwing shit in boxes and move it out of your eye line. Seriously. Let's go, Nikki Lynn. Becoming a member here on YouTube for 2 months. I appreciate you, Nikki. Welcome back. So, understand this. You have to focus on what you can do in any situation. I've also started, you can do that. I've done this before, depending on how crazy you are, depending on how much you need to reset yourself. Put a rubber band on your arm and every time you complain, have your partner snap it or snap it on your own. Every time you complain with that, hair tie that's around your wrist, or put like a rubber band around your wrist. Don't make it too tight because, you don't want to cut off circulation and lose your hand. Every time you complain, snap it. Every time your girl or wife or husband or boyfriend hears you complain, or partner, you can just get them to snap your thing. And believe me, it's a small reminder, but you'll wake up quick to stay positive and to focus on what you actually can control, for reals. The truth is, complaints are often met with silence. Yes or yes. Complaints are often met with silence. So who are you actually really complaining for? Instead of complaining, I try to channel that energy into creating something. Just make something. And the amount of things that I've made over the last 8 months, it's just like, kind of proud of myself, I've built something here, and it's for my kids, it's for you, and it's beautiful. It's like ethically helping people. And the fact that I'm here helping you get better, get smarter, shift your mindset so you can like have some success in this life. It's noble, but I can't make you do anything. I can just be here on the microphone and inspire you. Every time you feel the urge to complain, pick up your camera. Go create something. Remember, the glass is half full, by the way. And the fact that you have any water in a glass that you can open a tap and it pours out of, you're more privileged than 60% of the world. You have running water that you can drink. The glass is half full, not half empty, okay? And you have the talent to make something really fucking amazing. So focus on the positive and watch how that one mindset shift will transform your work and your life. It is not, oh my God, I can't. It is, oh my God, I can. I will, and there is nothing that I can't do. You're creatives. It's divine. So that is it, by the way, for today's episode of the Carty Method podcast. These 9 habits have made an incredible difference in my life, in my photography, and they will do for you as well. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Small, consistent steps will lead to massive changes over time. I appreciate you for tuning in today. Truly, if you're listening to me on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please, if this resonated with you, hit the 5 stars, rate me, review me. I need it. Honestly, I'm new on all of those platforms. And if you're watching me here on YouTube, you know that comments propel this whole thing forward, likes propel this whole thing forward. And I mean, you don't need to subscribe. Like, you don't have to. If you watch my content and you make it to the end, YouTube's going to push my stuff to the algorithm and you're going to see my stuff in your feed. But it doesn't tell me that I'm doing a good job. It doesn't tell me that I'm doing a good job. So when you subscribe, it means I touched you and it meant something. So hitting the subscribe button, for you, it's free. It costs you nothing. But what it does for me is it's a marker, and it shows other people who aren't watching my videos that keep coming up in their feed. And when they see this channel growing and growing, they're going to finally have FOMO, and maybe they'll tune in so I can help them as well. Nikki Lynn, rate on Spotify and rate on Apple Podcasts. I see your question, girl. Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I always put helpful stuff in the show notes. I just released the audio version of Sunday's podcast on Apple Music and Spotify, so you can check that out. Nikki Lynn, you review me. I just answered your question. I know there's a bit of a delay, but you review me on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You just go to where it says review this podcast and click it and put in your 5 stars if that's what you feel, and leave a comment on how I help you. That's what you do. So, Calligraphy and all the other staff who I have in chat, thank you. I appreciate you guys here and always being the coolest of Carty Cartel. Everybody who chose to watch me today live, I appreciate you watching me here live on YouTube. Thank you. And know this, I do photo reviews every Thursday. There is a very tight group of photographers that were lucky enough to get in and get a spot in my photo review system. So if you're not one of them, please go to the Carty Method /thecartymethod.com/YouTube submissions, or just go to thecartymethod.com and you will see YouTube submissions at the top of the screen and see if there's any spots left. This week we have an amazing assignment. It is hero advertising images. Hero advertising. I'm very excited. I'm asking you to make a hero advertising vertical picture. If you're in my photography community, you will know that there's an assignment. If you're in my photo submission community, you will see the assignment. And by the way, please check the show notes. Indie has been an amazing sponsor, so please join Indie. It's a great way to literally run your business. It's the ultimate freelance dashboard. Everything from proposals, templates, contract templates, invoicing. Indie University, it literally teaches you how to be a freelancer, and it'll take you from like you're thinking of a project, which you send a proposal to someone and then you get it, and then the quote, the invoice, all the communication, sharing client files, all of that exists all within Indie. It's super handy, it's super tight, and it actually looks sexy. So make sure you visit the show notes, whether you're watching on Apple Music, Spotify, or on YouTube, because I have all kinds of helpful things there for you and all kinds of free stuff as well. Subscribe to A Life Behind the Camera. That is the smartest way to get content sent right to your inbox. Guys, I hope today brought you value. I will see you on Thursday. If you're watching on YouTube, this commercial-free stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. I couldn't do it without the members, honestly. Members are responsible for like 70% of my income here on YouTube. So consider becoming a member. It definitely makes this thing go, because there's really not a lot of dough in AdSense, just FYI. So members are how this propels itself forward. It's only $5 a month, and I write your name out by hand. I actually type them, and I type the last 25 of you. I hand draw a little crown, and I place it next to your name. So these are the last 25 people who became members of this channel. I've had members for a year, and some of these people who you see across there have been members of my channel for over a year, like Oki and like Vicky. Let's go. Also, if you became a subscriber recently, you're going to see your name, or you just saw your name scrolling across the top bottom of the screen. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. Visit the Carty Method. Follow me at Steve Carty. Follow BTP with Carty on both Substack and on Instagram. Go to the show notes. There's tons of stuff. And also, of course, Tuesdays, we do the behind the, what is this called? The Carty Method After Party. Yeah, that's what it is. The Carty Method. Because, I don't do behind the picture until Thursday, and Ask a Photo Pro we don't do anymore. So the Carty Method After Party is next. I'll be in there for a bit in about 15. I'll see you guys on Zoom. One love.